As a kid, I've always carried this crystallized memory that's ingrained itself with me. It was a family gathering, sitting with cousins and siblings. We were all watching this TV show together, something in the lines of a talent show. I can't remember exactly what it was. On screen appeared this insane guitarist, and even though I don't really know much about guitar or anything, when someone attains mastery, we can all recognize it. He was playing with his heart, and you could see it. His hands blended into the guitar as if the instrument was an extension of himself. I don't know who that was, but I remember being really impressed. My cousin was quick to remark that someone like him was just born to play the guitar, that he was special, and to attain that level of skill for us normal people was impossible. There was simply nothing you could do about it. I didn't particularly care about guitar specifically, but just this idea that some people are on different tiers, as if they could fundamentally be better, just bothered me a lot. I remember thinking, what a shame. This is a topic I think about every so often. A lot less as of recent, but I remember it used to occupy my mind consistently before. It's one of those topics I feel pertain more to people who are just starting animation, or the pursuit of any craft actually. And it makes sense, right? Because when you start out, you wonder a lot if you have what it takes to do what you envision. You look for signs that you're not wasting your time and that there's a place for you in this industry or community. You've read the title, so you already know my stance on it, but I really think your thoughts on this topic massively impact your trajectory and progress as an animator and artist. So I just wanted to discuss it a bit and give you my perspective and why I think this way. My understanding of talent is that it's an aptitude to learn faster, a way of understanding concepts that comes very naturally, as if it was pure instinct, almost like it was predestined for you and you were always meant to do it. To be able to identify talent reliably in yourself or others is something I think is very difficult to do, if not altogether impossible. It's such an abstract thing that you can't really see it. At least for me, it's always been that way. Maybe for you, it's a feeling you get or notice in others, but I think you could easily think of someone as talented, see their work as effortless, but you never really know their internal struggles. There's no way to fully prove that someone has an easier time or has that talent. And ultimately, I don't think it matters that much. It doesn't change what you have to do to become a better animator. Talent is worthless. I think it's a bit naive to say it's completely worthless, because in all fairness, it's not. It can be an advantage to some people. I know we've all encountered artists that are so strong and so powerful that you can't even fathom how it's humanly possible to amass that much skill and creativity. The pitfall here is to attribute all of that skill to them being a fundamentally better person, or to them being talented. This is a detrimental mistake that can really stifle your own progress and evolution. The moment you pedestalize someone like that as if what they do and what they've achieved is almost beyond human, you sort of trap yourself in a box, always looking upwards while never letting yourself go there. What I mean when I say talent is worthless is that it's an uncontrollable variable, and so to constantly be thinking about something you cannot change and have no control over will never be productive. So if it is worthless, what should you be worried about? What is truly the differentiating factor that enables some artists to go seemingly much further than others? This is really cheesy to say, but it's your love. Your love for animation, the thought process, the journey, the making of it, the results, all of that. There's a scene in Bakuman I always think back to whenever I think about this. The two main characters are aspiring mangakas. They work incredibly hard to write and draw interesting manga, but at some point they hit an impasse and start to really struggle. They encounter this character Nizuma, a prodigy. They're the same age and share the same dream, and yet the gap between them seemed massive. In a moment of doubt, they asked their editor-in-chief, who's basically their boss, what is it that separated them from Nizuma Eiji? And his reply was, it is simply a question of who loves it more. I'm sorry if I'm not remembering it fully correctly, but this was the sentiment of the scene, and it really resonated with me, and what a beautiful answer. And it made sense too. For a person to dedicate their lives in pursuit of a craft, whether it be animation or whatever else, you would need to truly love it, and in turn that will mold you into a much stronger animator. I think what I'm trying to say is, if you're here, chances are you really love animation. In my opinion, that is and will always be your strongest asset. You can use that to shape yourself, your habits, and practice into becoming a much stronger, more realized animator. I don't pretend to be some authority on this, and with time as it has before, I might change my opinion on the subject altogether. I'm never married to ideas. Everything I've said here is just my insight and how I see things, but if you think differently, I'd love to hear more about your thoughts. There are a lot of people I respect who somehow frequent this channel, and I would love to hear your opinions as well. Feel free to disagree and tell me whatever you think.